I'm Betsy McKibben with Ican, and today we're in the Tech Corner with Philip Grossman. We're here talking about his recent trips to Chernobyl, working on his project Exploring the Zone. And so, Philip, just tell me a little bit about this project.
Sure. So the project started in the fall of 2011. I was actually in corporate America. It turns out I was around my 40th birthday, so maybe it was in my midlife crisis. But instead of a Corvette, I decided to go to Chernobyl.
Okay.
I decided I wanted to do something with my photography and really focus on that for a year and to figure out what kind of project I wanted to work on, and just sort of all these things sort of aligned and kept pointing to Chernobyl. So I made my first visit in November of 2011 during the 25th anniversary, and been going back and forth for the last 5 years, made 7 trips now.
Wow, wow. And how has it evolved over time, with each trip that you go back?
So it started as a photography project. Initially it was just, I'm going to go there for 4 days, once in a lifetime opportunity. I managed to get into the control room of reactor number 4,
Wow.
shot my photos and said, I'm done, this is great. And then 3 months later, my filming partner, Eric from Poland, calls me up and says, I'm going to go back, do you want to go? I said, yes, but only if we go for longer. And so we went from 4 days on the first trip to 8 days to 10 days to 12 to 14 each time. And it sort of evolved with, the second time was to sort of fill in some holes in the photography portfolio, but also start shooting video. And then the third trip was like, there's a story here. Didn't quite know what the story was going to be, but I know I wanted to document, because one of the things I noticed every trip, the zone had changed over time. It's had been 25 years, 26 years. More buildings were falling down, more buildings were covered up. And so that's sort of how it sort of morphed into this exploring the zone, because people kept asking, so what's it like there? And so the goal was really, not to educate people on what had happened, because people can read up on that, but what has happened since. There's not a lot of information about that. So it's sort of morphed from photography to photography and video, and mostly video HD,
right,
and then 4K and all 4K RAW, and just, it's kind of grown from there. Now we've over 60 hours of material, 20,000 photos.
Nice, yeah. And so, tell me a little bit about, I know you took some Ican products. How did you decide what products to take?
I've looked, again, I'm a geek. I love technology, I love equipment. I don't think you can have enough camera bags and tripods, but I needed something that was, had value. I didn't want to spend tens of thousands of dollars, because I needed the capital for location fees, as they say in the zone, but I also needed something that was of high quality and universality, for lack of a better term. I still have all if I have a box with all the nuts and bolts and parts of all the various Ican components that I have, that I still use today.
Great, great. And so can you just go into detail with, dealing with Ican as a company, like how has that been and affected your career and your projects, and how you look at them to help you in the future?
It's for me, it's been it's a partnership, but not an official partnership. You guys aren't sponsoring me or anything like that. It's just I believe in the products, and it's just talking with the teams and going, I need something that does this, and a week or two later they go, hey, why don't you try this for us and see if that works? And it's just sort of been an amazing. It's a company that the size is correct, I think, in terms of I can provide feedback, and I can see that feedback taken seriously and turned into a product. Not that I think I'm an expert in the product, but I am in the field, and maybe I have some unique needs. But the team's been very good about, well, we could try and put these things together. How's that work for you? And it's been a great relationship, and it's nearly been almost the entire time I've been working on this project. I started in 2011, and it was the second trip in 2012 when I started with using the Ican products, and it's just through the years I've seen the product line expand. The value proposition of the products have increased. The quality of the products, not that they weren't quality before, but the quality's increased, and the prices haven't necessarily increased. The breadth of the products, from shades and follow focuses and the tripod lines and everything else. It's I can't say enough about how happy I am to have a company that I can pick up the phone or send an email to and say I have this issue, and get a response within less than 24 hours, and going, hey, we'll send the bolt out that you sheared off, no problem at all.
So how did you first get introduced to Ican and the company and start working with them?
Sure. So it was NAB 2012. I was getting ready to go on the second expedition, and it was going to be a bit more adventurous. I was going to do some more video as well as photo, and I came across booth, and I said, "This is fantastic. I mean, this is what I need." And it was I needed something that could use this. Actually, the driving force is I needed to be able to go from a camera on a tripod quickly to a shoulder mount, because that's the type of environment you're just not going to sit there and shoot. And so they had the perfect product and products, and so I could mix and match, and so that was the start. And then every NAB and IBC I'd stop by and again, just all the creativity in the design. Just to continually increase. So it's always one of the highlights of NAB for me is to stop by the Ikan booth and go, "What are you guys working on now?"
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Ican's Tech Corner. Stay tuned for more.